Welcome to the Dawson Creek podcast. Not with our special guest, Darcy Dober. Now, onto the show.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing a tie.
Why?
I want to look professional today.
You do realize you're supposed to wear that with like a dress shirt or a dress coat or...
What about a really nice hoodie?
Sure. Hello and welcome to the Not Dawson's Creek podcast, a show where we highlight your regular yet extraordinary Dawson Creek citizens. Today we have the extreme pleasure of talking to one of our leaders in our community. He's a business owner, he's a great guy, and he's also our mayor. Please welcome our guest. How are you, Darcy? Good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
He's just learning how to tie it, but God bless him nonetheless. Darcy Dober, is it Dawson Creek or Dawson's Creek?
Well, depends who you ask. 'Cause outside of the community, it's Dawson's Creek, but and worldwide, it seems to be the way it is. But no, it's Dawson Creek. So.
I have the amount of times I've talked to, and it's usually people from like the United States because they're so far away from us, where I say I'm from Dawson Creek, and they lean into me and they go, they really named the town after a TV show, and I'm like, no, not particularly, but I think it's part of the charm here, and I think I always find it really funny when it happens. So
I spent some time down on the coast a little bit, and we're doing some training with people, and it was always that question, right? So I finally just got asked somebody who the stars were. I'm like, actually, they're just my neighbors. So it is where we are from. So that's how I started introducing myself. So
that would make you very memorable to your new friends. So.
Yeah.
And so, Darcy, you are a Dawson Creek resident, born and raised, correct?
Yes.
When were you born?
1978.
1978. What was the town like back then?
Well, I don't remember.
I guess the 80s more like.
Yeah. I always have fond memories of Dawson Creek. It's always been a great community, whether I was growing up, my whole life. It's been, it's just always been good.
Mm-hmm.
Not perfect. I mean, nothing is, right?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. What kind of, because we were talking to Ed Ma on our first episode, and he was a bit further back. He was in the 60s or so, but he was talking about how the town used to have like community events, and like the square, like the Mile Zero post, used to have parties and stuff like that, and how it used to be so amazing. Were there any like community events that you recall or anything like that in the community at that time?
Well, I think this community's always been like that to me. I mean, It's always what makes our community amazing really is the people and how we bring community together. I think we lost that a little bit over the last little while, but I feel like it's coming back. And I always remember lots to do in the community, and from when I was younger to my days through business, all of it. So.
Yeah, for sure. And let's talk about that a little bit, your days through business. So obviously you worked in the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in that?
Pretty much right. I mean, I started working at a young age. I needed to when I was 14, and I started in the restaurant industry. I went, when I was done school, I actually took the carpentry program in grade 12. So I worked at the school district for 3 years in carpentry. And while I was doing that, I was still working in the restaurants just to help support myself. And to be honest, I heard a quote when I was about 18, and it was, find something you love to do in your life and you'll never work it. Or find something you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life. And at that point, I made a decision to stick with the restaurants because I loved it. I enjoyed going every day. I really loved what I did. And so that was kind of the beginning of the journey for me.
Oh, wow. What was your favorite aspect of the restaurant industry?
It definitely would have been the people.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The people, whether it was the team that I got to work with or the guests that came in. It's a very rewarding industry. Like it's, it really was. And it is still, right?
Yeah. And Ryan and I have also worked in kitchens, and you'll never find more harder working people in your life than in the back of house, in the front of house of a restaurant. And it's a very hard job to make sure you're delivering excellent food, excellent customer service on a consistent daily basis. It's incredible.
Yeah, consistency is huge, right? And that's what I loved about the industry is as you get to, for me, it was always about just doing what's right for people, like pretending that I'm the guest and the way I'd want to be treated, from the way I cooked the meals to the way I served them. And I was just, always very passionate about that. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I just followed my heart, right? I enjoyed what I did, and I just followed my heart. I tried to do what was right. I pushed forward. I took risk, chance, like any opportunities that ever came my way. I was the first to jump into them. So I
Right.
started in the kitchen, worked my way up. So,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
And that sort of risks and that sort of boldness, I would say. Do you think that's, I've kind of been mulling all this over this a little bit in the past few months, working on our business and stuff like that. Do you think that risk and being bold is a key part of success?
Yeah, I don't know how you measure success, right? So to me, success isn't measured by my bank account. It's measured by seeing people around me succeed. So seeing teammates succeed and seeing and what we've built as a team. But yeah, I don't, for me, it's any opportunity I got. I just always thought about, like, if I don't do it, am I going to regret that later on down the road?
Right.
So that was always the big part of my decisions, and try to do what felt right.
Right.
Sometimes easier than others, but yeah, no, I don't know if I kind of went a little bit off of that question a bit, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like if you're, even with my kids, I've always said, like, it doesn't matter what you do in life, just do something you enjoy and you love. That's
Mhm.
all that matters.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, I know we need money to live and it makes the world go around, but really at the end of the day, money's just an object, right?
Yeah.
Having family, having friends, building relationships, doing what's right, that's what matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I could speak for Ryan, I think one of his biggest regrets is just working with me in general. So, is that true?
I regret letting you speak for me. No, that is not true whatsoever. I never work a day in my life because I'm incredibly lazy, and Grady does all the heavy stuff for me.
Well done.
That's the key to a partnership.
Yeah.
One does the work, one doesn't.
Yeah, and I just enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. And so, kind of jumping ahead, you're working in the restaurant industry, you're managing different restaurants, and working like that. When did that transition into politics happen? When did that interest sort of happen?
Well, in business, this community's always been so amazing to myself and my family, and I'm very grateful for that always. So I've always tried to give back as much as I can. So whether
Yeah.
that's supporting organizations or whatever it is, like there's just, I would never say no, because it's always about, like, being grateful for the community. How do we make it better? We got to help. We got to be leaders in that. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of just succession planning at the restaurant. I opened the restaurant. It was in 2011, and just as it grew and you built your team, you got to the point where you weren't needed anymore. And to me, in leadership, that's success. When you can
Yeah.
operate an organization or a company, and you can get it to a point where it operates as good or better when you're not in there, that's success.
Mhm.
And I believe I got there. We had an outstanding team that's been, we've worked together for years. So the last, and then I'll jump around a little bit, but I've always kind of been intrigued by more, not politics, because I don't say that I'm a politician.
Mhm.
Always been intrigued about how I could give back and help more. And so
Yeah.
city council always interested me, because I felt like, at what better level could I try to help and give back?
Mhm.
So to jump back to the restaurant a little bit, I got to that point where I wasn't in there as much anymore, and was kind of at home more with the kids and family. And that was all great. I focused a lot on myself, a lot of internal things, a lot of things that I've been through. I took the time to deal with myself and get the help that I needed, and
Yeah.
just to guide my life a bit. So I did that, and then I realized that I wasn't at the point in my life where I wanted to live that life forever, and whether that's semi-retired or
Yeah.
just to be back more. So at that time, there was a by-election coming up for city council, and I spoke with the mayor of the day, and I was like, you know what? It's a 2-year term. The 4 years always kind of scared me. I thought of running for the election before, but 4 years is a big commitment.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is a 2-year term. Like, what better way to get in and see if I enjoy it or not? So that happened, and I got in, and I remember my first meeting, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I also, in my mind, I was like, oh, I think I could be the mayor one day.
Yeah.
And then things progressed over those 2 years, and then Dale decided he wasn't going to run, and I put a lot of thought around it with myself and my family, and
Yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
decided it was the right thing. I was like, it's another one of those things, like, how many times in my life am I going to get that opportunity?
Yeah.
Right? Like, how many people get that opportunity? So for me to say no to it, am I going to regret that later on down the road? And if I say yes to it, like, I don't know. It didn't mean I was going to get in, right? It was just
Yeah.
part of an election. But I know one thing, that I love this community. I love what it's about. I love the members of the community and what makes Dawson Creek amazing. And I had my family's support, and that alone was enough for me to put my name forward to run. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. And what in that initial city council meeting, your first one, what kind of sparked that sort of question of like, oh, I could theoretically run and try to become mayor? What kind of sparked that in that meeting?
Probably something inside, just that natural leadership ability. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm like some amazing leader or anything, but I know that
You have the qualities.
yeah, and I know how to treat people good. I know how to give, open space for people to communicate. I don't, I try hard not to look at my will. It's more about, what's right for the whole community. And I just felt that I could do that.
Yeah.
And it was nothing against, previous mayor or anything. It was just,
No.
the way I feel, the way I lead. So
Yeah. And you served 2 years as city council?
2 years as city council, yeah.
Yeah. And then you ran in the by-election.
That was the by-election
Yeah.
to get in for the city council. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was one spot open. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah. And so what year did you win the election to become mayor?
That was, what was it? 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
How did that feel to, have the community support and also your family support so much so that you're elected to be mayor of a community that you obviously respect and love so much? How did that feel for you personally?
Yeah, it is quite the process running through it. Like the election process, it's like you're being interviewed by 12,000 people and you're putting your whole life out there, right? So I've never filled out an application like that in my life. So it was a very emotional roller coaster. But I remember the moment when I got the phone call that I was elected.
Mhm.
I don't know. It was humbling.
Yeah.
Like, it was, and to know that you had the support of that many community members, and it was humbling, very humbling, and just grateful. But the most exciting part is we had a little bit of a celebration and just had some snacks and coffee and tea and stuff, and had some friends and family around and some supporters. So that was exciting. But after we were all done, I went and sat in my truck with my then would have been 7-year-old son, and we like looked at each other and we like high-fived and we were all excited, and it was like, that was when the emotion sank in. So he was as excited as me. And,
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah, that is definitely like one of those memories that I'll hold dear to me for a long time, probably, hopefully forever. It was, it was pretty exciting.
Yeah, cool. And then kind of, jumping back a little bit, going through the process of the election and running to be mayor, what was that like? You obviously have the elation of being elected in that moment, but I would imagine running in an election has got to be just demanding.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like something I've never done before in my life. Like it was definitely different because I'm not really like a real loud vocal type leader. I'm
Yeah.
more the quiet, like let's just actions speak louder than words. It's just, not one's right or wrong. It's just the way I lead. And so to put myself out there, right,
Mhm.
out of my comfort zone, out in social media, taking pictures, doing all that is definitely a challenge. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. For me, it was about just staying on the high ground, like just, why I'm doing this. I want to give
Mhm.
back to the community. I want to, I want to help. I want to do what's right. Just really staying on my own course and staying to what I was, I get asked a lot of questions, right? Whether that would be interviewed, and I didn't have all the answers. I've never done this before, but
Right.
the one thing I know is I care, and I'm going to try to do what was best for our community. And,
Mhm.
yeah, so it was definitely, yeah, there's always, it was stressful, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But
And I think a key thing that I've noticed, and probably the reason why you were elected, because you kind of reflected a lot of things in our community that I think is important. I think the big thing that I've kind of learned doing these interviews over the past little while is how authentic our town is and how sincere our town is. It's really, Ryan and I talked about this a few times, but like, in our town, if you break down on the side of the road, someone's probably going to stop and help you no matter
yeah,
who you are, right? You wouldn't get that in a larger town. Not that larger towns are bad by any means, but it's a different sort of vibe, right? I think that authentic sort of vibe is what you bring as the mayor, and I think it reflects our community as well. Do you think that's somewhat accurate?
I believe it is 100% accurate. I've lived in other communities, and Dawson is built on its people. Like we have
Yeah.
unbelievable people here, and that's what I try to do as a mayor. Is it's not about me dictating the way our community goes. It's about like empowering our community to be who we are,
Mm-hmm.
right? And have those organizations and those people that are passionate about things like, let's let them lead it. Like I don't need to be the center of everything, right? Like it's, we're in this together. It's a
Yeah.
community. How do we grow it together,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
how do we showcase what we're about?
Mm-hmm. And is that question like how do we grow together? Is that like an ongoing, like you never have the definitive answer for that as the mayor, right? Is that an ongoing question?
Yeah, I think the older I get, the less I know,
Yeah.
right? So the more I'm able to just listen to people, and I don't have the answers or the ideas, but I'm game to listen to anybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the open doors we do, all the stuff. It's just about, it's not about selling anything. It's just about the reality of who we are as a council and who I am as a person. Is
Right.
my door is open, and I want to listen, and I want to learn, and yeah, I want to move forward. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't have those solutions. So if people have ideas or ways we could do things better, like absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And so, jumping over to you serving as mayor, obviously we're in the city council chambers right now. It's a beautiful space,
Yeah.
and we see all these names: Charlie Parslow, and Jeremy Earl, and you serve with all these wonderful people of the community. What is that like working with city council, and such outstanding members of the community? How does that
Yeah,
go?
it's in my career as a leader and team, you get to surround yourself with, team members and leaders that you've kind of developed and grown in. So you come into this role and it's quite a bit different, right? You're
Yeah.
sitting with 7 people that are voted in. Um, so it's definitely it's a different leadership skill to work in this environment, but
Mm-hmm.
honestly, it's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
We have 7 individuals here that I strongly believe that are all here for the right reasons, and that's just to help our community. That there's no hidden agendas. There's no, you can hear it and you can feel it when you're in this room and we're talking. It's been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We all have open dialogue. We allow space for each of us to talk and express our opinions.
Yeah.
We're not all like-minded,
Yeah.
but we respect each other.
Mm-hmm.
We give space, and that's important, right? In leadership is to give that space, and just give people the time, right? Whether you agree or not, it's not about that. It's just
Mm-hmm.
about everybody's here for the same reasons, and we all have the right to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Ryan, you have a really good quote, and this is mainly to do with business, but I think it's similar because it deals with partnership and collaboration. But what's the quote?
Are you referring to if two business partners agree on everything, one of them is
Unnecessary?
unnecessary? Yeah. If two business partners agree on every decision, one of them is unnecessary.
Yeah.
So I think having some, not conflict, but having some disagreements is healthy in a partnership, or in any partnership, like not just business, but interpersonal relationships, right? Having two sets of eyes on something, increases your horizons. It broadens your horizons.
Yeah.
I think that's really important to have diversity.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And just to be able to have that debate, right, and understand that that's what it is. And
Yeah.
and I think like being open-minded too is pretty powerful,
Mhm.
right? Like, when you sit at this table, you can have your research and your ideas on something that we're looking at, but it's so critical to or crucial to be open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had it often where I come in and I'm leaning this way and then you listen, right? And it's like, holy,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like this whole council is very open-minded, and you definitely don't feel like decisions are made before we sit at this table. So it's nice.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
And kind of encapsulating your experience so far as the mayor, what's been your favorite part, if you can pick one, about serving?
Oh, I don't even know. There's, my favorite part is probably the youth that I get to be present with. So going to schools or doing youth tours here, or like just being able to like inspire and help youth and kids. It's probably the most enjoyable thing. That and seniors. I love going to like the seniors hall, whether it's Rotary or I just as a mayor, I don't have any agendas. If I do, or if I have two top things I'm passionate about, it's youth and seniors.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime my days are involved with them, it's definitely, it's enjoyable, right? I get to learn from those that have laid down what we have today. And then I get to inspire those that are the next to lead our communities and countries and regions. And so.
Mm-hmm. And working with youth and talking to them, what's one thing that you notice with them in terms of their connection to the community?
Well, I think you get to see that they all of a sudden have a bit more pride in the community, right? And that's one of the things for youth is we live in some tough times right now. Like there's so many struggles that we all face in today's world, and whatever that is, right? There's so many different ones, but it's like, how do you change that for the future? And it's like, well, if we're not happy about some of the things around the community, how do we change that? Well, we get youth involved, and we inspire them, and we get them to care about our community. So when they're older, they're going to be like, oh, I remember that, Mayor. I remember going through that city. Like, I'm going to respect that, or I'm proud to be part of that. And it's probably one of the biggest things. I can share a little story that I just had recently, but I had a grade 4 or 5 class come in here, and I went through I gave them a tour of the building, and then I went through like how council works, and they came as delegates, and I pretended they were council and mayor and walked them through all that. And it was amazing, and you can tell they all really enjoyed it. And then a week later, I was at their school helping do a Christmas lunch. So I asked principal, I said, are you okay if I go to that classroom? So I went to that classroom, and they were all like jumping up and down with excitement that I came there. And then they're like, can we sing our Christmas concert to you? So then they did. And I was like literally, I don't even care if this sounds cheesy, but it was just like my heart melted.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, this is 20 kids that, I just contributed to giving them a little bit better of a day, but really in giving that, I had a better day.
Right.
Right. And, I just find the more in life we can give, the better life is. So, and I feel like I'm blessed to be in this role where I can give, right, with zero intentions about getting anything back. It's just about how do I, keep moving forward and try to do the next right thing. And
Yeah. That's just wonderful. I there's Ryan and I have taught, and we've done a few courses with youth and whatnot, and one thing that always really touches me is whenever they're passionate about something,
Yeah.
that just is the greatest feeling in the world to see a young person passionate about something, whether that's working at the municipal level, whether that's art, whether that's whatever. Whenever they're passionate about something, it's the greatest feeling. It's the greatest thing to see.
Yeah. Just pure joy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If we could all live our lives like that, we would live in that much better of a world, right? Like it's
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's other things too with youth too. Like I didn't, always have the best upbringing, right? Like I went through some struggles in my life too. So
Right.
it's like if I can give back and help, like in those teenage years or youth years, like, and sometimes that's just being a good role model for people, but life's not easy, right? And there's a lot of challenges. So I've been through lots. If I can share my experiences and help others, like, I always said if somebody asked me what I would want to get out of this in the 4-year term, and really if I could inspire one youth in 4 years, like that would be enough for me.
Really.
Because it's just, to me, that it's that important, our youth and how they're going to grow, right? So
Yeah.
But
that's wonderful. And I think you've already done that with the work you've been doing around the community and talking with them. So thank you for everything you've been doing for the community.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. And so we're, you're obviously still in your first term as mayor. Are there some challenges that have come up that you didn't anticipate? Like when you were first running or anything like that you were like, okay, well, I have to deal with this. I wasn't expecting this to kind of come up or anything like that.
Everything.
Yeah.
No, but almost. I mean, I didn't go into it knowing what the mayor role was. I didn't have much expectations besides I knew how meetings ran. So everything was new from day one. The first year was, the learning curve was like straight up, but I'm not afraid of challenges and, when things get tough. I mean, I've had to deal with that in business and personal life and my whole life. So I'm not afraid of that. I just put my head down and move forward. But, and I shouldn't say put my head down, just, hold my head high and you move forward, right? And just focus on what that goal is and just keep moving. But, I mean, the biggest things getting into it was definitely like the mental health, addiction, crime, all those things we face, in our community country. Those were big, right? At the start, they still are today, right? So just learning how all that works, right? I didn't really understand like how municipal, provincial, federal governments work, all of that. So it was just really, understanding all that and yeah.
Well, and they're such big questions, right? No one has a definitive answer on what to do, because it is such a all those topics that you mentioned are so complex and so complicated that, it's really difficult to kind of maneuver that and talk about that, and I think just talking about it as the community is already doing quite a bit more.
Yeah.
Because that's all you can really do because it is so complicated, right?
Well, exactly right. And I think that's a big thing for me is understanding it all and how do you empower your community to help and move it forward. We have so many amazing organizations in this community that run from their hearts, right, and help and make Dawson Creek a better place. So it's, and I mean, you got to understand at this level as a mayor and municipal leader, like what is your lane, right? Like what can you help to make our community better? What can't you, right? Where do you advocate? Where can you actually put actions down, right? So yeah.
Do you see, just from the mayor perspective, any institutions that are around Dawson Creek, in particular, that are doing work to better the community, like really standout institutions or people?
Oh, there's so many. I don't even know if I want to get into naming them because I would miss some. But you have leaders like Networks, Dawson Creek Society for Community Living, Spickers, Nowakin,
Yeah.
St. Mark's. Like,
Yeah.
you have this homelessness committee that's been recently formed. You have so many,
Yeah.
right? Like you have so many groups that have come together over years, right? And I think that's the thing with the small town is, over my whole life here, like, what makes this town shine is when somebody's in distress,
Yeah.
right? If somebody's having a hard time or that's when this community steps up and comes together and you can see that in this level, right? So,
Yeah.
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 But yeah, so many organizations. It's tough to just name one because they all cover different aspects, right? But
They're all doing such outstanding work.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did you ever live in a larger town?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I lived in Vancouver, so I
Oh,
was
really?
New Westminster for almost a year
Oh,
actually.
cool. I used to live in New West too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I
Nice.
lived off of right near Columbia.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Where were you?
I want to say Victoria Street. I was
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
I love New West.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was beautiful down there, but
Yeah.
busy. But
Yeah. Very busy.
yeah, I enjoyed it down there too. And I think that one thing I appreciated about here being down there was the people, right? Like down there, it's not that people don't care or they don't, they're not good people. It's just their life is so much more busy down there,
Yeah.
right? So they just don't have time,
Mhm.
right? They don't have time to conversate or get to know you because it's just go, 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 right? So that was the
Yeah.
biggest thing I noticed. But
Yeah, and I was gonna ask, like, what are some differences that you do notice in a larger town versus, Dawson? And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. The other thing that I noticed was, and I wasn't anticipating this when I moved down there, was how, like, the sound, how loud it is. Here it's, you have traffic, you have people, and that's just the part of a town, but like how loud the town or how loud like Vancouver is as opposed to Dawson, right? Dawson is quiet, and that was quite a like a culture shock for me, just the loudness of the city as opposed to here where it's much quieter.
yeah, that would make sense, right? Because there's
Yeah.
everything, right? It's just go, go,
Yeah.
go. Yeah,
Yeah, it is
busy,
very go,
noise.
go,
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Would you describe Dawson as like obviously people are busy and they're running their businesses, but would you describe Dawson as like much like a bit more calmer in that sense, or how would you describe it as opposed to a larger town?
I would think you go back to the core and who we are, and that's agriculture, right?
Yeah.
Like I think when I need to describe Dawson Creek or, what my perception of Dawson Creek is that it is it's like that small town, quiet farming community, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's grown a bit over the years and things have changed, but we still have that in our core,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely for me. It's a peaceful community, right? Like it's,
Yeah.
we got struggles and everybody does, but it's a quiet and beautiful community, right?
It is.
And not only Dawson, I mean, you got like within hour or hour and a half of here, you have some of the most beautiful country in the world, right?
Yeah.
Like whether you're talking the Rockies and Tumbler or, Chetwynd or
Mm-hmm.
Fort St. John, Grand Prairie, like, I mean, within an hour and a half, like we have everything,
Yeah.
right? Like whether that's shopping in Grand Prairie or whether that's, hiking trails or skiing, there's just so much here, right? It's such a beautiful country.
It is. It really is. That's the first thing. Like when people come here, and usually like my friends come here from Vancouver and they've never been outside the Lower Mainland. When they come here, the first thing they say is like, "Oh my God, I had no idea how beautiful it is up here."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Yeah," like because you're used to it here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're born and raised here as well, Ryan. Do you kind of find that as well, like with people that are out of town?
Yeah, I think the majority of the people who live here sort of take it for granted, because, like you said, we're exposed to it every day. But even like I grew up in the country, just in Eris, right outside of Dawson, and I still find that now that I've moved into town, when I go visit my parents in Eris, I'll drive down that 15 minutes on the Old Heart. And I'll just take it in. It's so beautiful out there, like the frost on the trees or the orange leaves in the fall,
Yeah.
or even just the greenery in the summer. Like, it is such a beautiful area here, and I certainly don't take it for granted, but I know that a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you appreciate it more now the older you get?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah. The older you get, the more you appreciate the small things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the small things that start to matter the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, the older you get, the more perspective you get, right? It doesn't matter as much in the long scheme of things, right? Like, the big stuff will pass and the little stuff will remain.
Right.
Like, that's kind of how I feel about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too. I find it's easy to get caught up in the big things, right? And I think you got to experience that to appreciate the small things.
Yeah.
Because it really is just, and they're not even small, right? The small things are like your friends, your family, like enjoying Mother Nature, like, but they're small, but they're really, like, when you get to that point, they're the biggest things.
Exactly.
Because that's what matters, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, for anyone outside of our community, because this is going to air all across Canada, what are our winters like in Dawson? We're currently experiencing a bit of a blizzard right now.
First word that comes to my mind is cold, but I don't want to scare people away. But, you know, they're cold.
Yeah.
For sure. We have moments, but we get a lot of Chinooks and stuff throughout the winter. So even when we do get to minus 20, 30, 40, like, it's not like it's all winter.
Yeah.
You know, it's a week of it or 2 weeks of it, and then it warms up. But I don't know, for me, like, I absolutely love the summers here. I love the long days, but I actually love the winters too. The only thing I don't like is the length of them.
Yeah. That's interesting because I find them kind of cozy. You know what I mean? Especially when you're, like, in a warm house and, like, it's like snowing outside. I don't know. It just has, like, a nice atmosphere to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's clean. It's fresh. And then the other thing about winter here is we don't get a lot of sun, like, lengthwise, but we get the sun.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I remember when I lived in New Westminster, there was that winter was 37 straight days where we didn't see the sun.
Oh.
So I'm like, I appreciate the sun here in the winter. And when it's, a nice fresh snow and it's sunny, like, I don't know. To me, it's pretty, like you said. Like, it's cozy. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, this has been a fantastic treat. I really appreciate the time you've made today. I know you're quite busy, so I really appreciate the time. We normally end by asking the same question to our guests, but I'll ask you two different questions, if that's okay. The first one is kind of a big one. How would you like to be remembered as a mayor?
Oh, so one thing in my life is I've always to reflect back on things. It's not something I'm great at. I always I really try hard to live in the moment of the day. I try not to look at the past or the future, just to try and live in this moment. And, how I would want to be remembered as a mayor is, I don't know, somebody that I guess puts the community first, right? Somebody that's about community before self-gain or anything else. It's just about moving our community forward. I don't look at that ever, right?
Yeah.
But, to be remembered by youth would probably be the biggest thing. I had this little girl run into me the other day at the arena, and I didn't recognize her at first because I get to see a lot of kids, but she was so excited to see me. And, that alone, like, you just made the term, right? Because it's, you've helped and inspired somebody. But yeah, I mean, I don't, want to leave us waving some big magic wand and I'm going to build all this stuff and I'm going to do all this for the community. I'm going to do all that. Like, it's not who I am. Like, for me, it's about, how do I just showcase our community and who we are? And if we just do what's right in life, the rest will come.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to see that in the community. We're starting to see, like, people are talking about more positive things, and we're seeing some change in the community. And, actions speak louder than words in my journey. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what I'd want to be remembered by. It's
No, that was a
it's
great
difficult
answer.
question. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the final question that we ask of all of our guests, if you were to describe Dawson with one word, what would that be?
I don't know. I mean, people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our community, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what drives me every day, and what I got to remind myself sometimes is why I'm doing this, and it's about our community.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
community I think would be what would be the main thing for me. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I absolutely agree with that. The community makes Dawson Creek, and the community makes the Peace region, and without it, we would lose our best part. So I think,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Well, again, Darcy, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you making the time for us today, and this is a great talk, and I wish you all the best, and thanks so much.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you. And I appreciate that, but I also thank you guys for, what you're doing, not just for this, but for in the community. And,
Thank you.
you've done a lot of videos and bring a lot of attention to things, and really thank you for taking the time to come do this, because I always got time for doing these things. So it's been enjoyable. So
Yeah.
so thank you both.
Thank
so
you,
much.
And the
Darcy.
whole team. So thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
of course.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that's that for the Not Dawson's Creek podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Grady McTavish,
I'm Ryan Leewood.
and we'll sign off. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching the Not Dawson's Creek podcast. Directed by Grady McTavish. Produced by Quentin Tootin and Grady McTavish. Directors of photography, Quentin Tootin and Ryan Leewood. That's me! Art director, Charlie McLean. Sound, Taylor Leewood. Camera operators, Charlie McLean and Quentin Tootin. Special thanks to Melissa Love, the City of Dawson Creek, and Darcy Dober. Bye-bye!